that's a hot take. That's a hot one. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the KotLC Fanbase channel. My name is Joey, and today I'm going to be going over your KotLC confessions. A couple weeks ago, we asked you guys to submit your best KotLC confessions, and I'm going to be going over them in this video, seeing if I agree with them or if I don't. It's going to be very interesting to see these opinions, and if you're excited to see these confessions, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to support our channel. Check out the Discord, which is also linked in the description below. And this form is still going to be open, so go in the description, click the link, and submit your own confessions or leave a comment with your confessions too. So without further ado, let's get into the first one. I'm kind of annoyed with how many stuffed animals Shannon has added to this series. I was loving Ella and Mr. Snuggles too, but then it just became a thing that I personally don't think was necessary. So I think they're called like emotional support animals, and I do have to agree there is a lot of them. I think like every character that's visited Elwyn has one at this point because Elwyn gives them to them, I think. Like Ella is obviously, like Elwyn didn't give her Ella. Ella is Sophie's from when she was a kid, so that one makes sense. And then Mr. Snuggles, he's like the other main one, you know, he fits too. So I mean that's fine, but I can see where you're coming from. I think Descrier is the coolest ability. So I don't agree with this, but I mean it's kind of cool to like sense somebody's potential, but like you can't do anything with that information, and like there's only one Descrier, so it is pretty rare, which is cool. When I first got the KotLC books, I hadn't seen everyone's official art because I got the books in a 1-to-5 set. I read the first book and I looked at the covers trying to figure out who everyone was. I thought Dex was Gen C, Sophie was Sophie, okay, Tam was Dex, Fitz was Keith, and Keith was Fitz. So the first thing that like jumps out to me, how do you think Dex was Gen C? Because Dex is on the cover of the first book. Why would Gen C's not a character like big enough to be on a cover? Tam was Dex. I don't, that one actually surprised me too, because like Tam has really distinct bangs. It's kind of hard to confuse him. In my opinion, the Vackers don't have British accents. Now I don't exactly remember how their accents were described, but I think it was like very like posh, so I don't know how that would exactly sound given the Elven language, but you know, not mine but a friend. When I showed her the Lodestar cover, which she had not read yet, she genuinely thought Fitz was Keith. I burst out laughing and she said she didn't remember the character descriptions. Why is this so common? I've only gone through like 5 of them and 2 people have already thought that Fitz was Keith based on the covers. That's so weird. Because I was so invested in the lore of the books, I never even noticed that Dex was crushing on Sophie until the awkward moment in Nightfall. That's crazy. You were so invested in the plot and like the story. That's cool though, but you didn't even realize that Dex liked Sophie. That's so funny. I didn't know that Unlocked was going to be only 200 pages of actual story until the day I started reading it. That one hurts, because like Unlocked, I think the total page count, it's 800 pages and only 200 of it is the actual story. So to go in thinking that the whole book was going to be 800 pages of like a new book, and then finding out that most of it is just like a guide, that's kind of funny. Okay, this one is actually pretty spicy. I don't really like Lynn and Tam. So I'm not like the biggest fans of Lynn and Tam. I know people really like Tam, people like Lynn. I think that Lynn is a very, like at this moment, she's a very bland character, but she has a lot of potential because she's strong and powerful with her ability. But the only like memorable thing that I can remember is that she saved Atlantis, which is good. That's kind of it. She's not in the books that much. And Tam, I don't know. I don't really like Tam, so I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one, even though I think that's a hot take. I actually feel sympathy for Alvar. I don't know why, but he was always a cool character. So when I found out that he was really in the Never Seen, I never really hated him. He seems like a redeemable character that I would love to see more in the future. So he said he's a redeemable character, but then when he was redeemed and everybody thought he was good, he was still bad. Are you gonna give him a third chance? But the last time we saw Alvar, I think they randomly met him in Candleshade, if I remember. And I think he said he was gonna, like he was really weak and sick or something. So I don't know, he actually just might be dead at this point. We don't really know. I never actually read all of the Unlocked files. Wow. Austin actually hasn't read any of the guide, or he calls it the study guide of the Unlocked files, so he hasn't read that either. And I will admit that I read them in order. Like, I'm the opposite of this person. I read them before I even read the 200-page story. I wasn't the only one who pictured Fitz looking like Dex at first, right? I just saw the boy on the cover of book 1, Dex, so when the first boy in the series was introduced, Fitz, that's just how I pictured him. Why are there so many people who are confused about the covers and the description of these characters? I don't get it. That's so weird how so many people get confused. I don't know why. Okay, this one. Okay. I almost bought a personalized love letter from Keith off of Etsy once. What? I have to look this up. Oh, so apparently you can buy love letters from any character. That's crazy. That's a good confession. Wow. When the movie got announced, just like every single brunette KotLC fan, I thought, hey, I could be Biana. We've got a lot of comments of people saying that they want to audition for the movie, and this is really accurate. So that's a good confession. I know a lot of people can relate to that one. I definitely never thought it would be fun to go look for Keith since he ran to the Forbidden Cities. And my sister definitely didn't have a note from my backyard that said, Moonlark, we need you. That is funny. Like, if you just randomly started getting messages from the Black Swan, wow, those are two good confessions. I pictured Edeline as an old lady and Grady as the Rock when I first read the book. I don't know like what's going on, but this is the 4th time people are just like misjudging what these characters look like. They think Fitz is Keith, they think Grady is the Rock. I don't know what's going on. Let's just say we've all tried to tug on our eyelashes due to Sophie. And I admit I've tried it a long time ago, but I don't think I even did it. It kind of hurt, so I'm not doing it. I don't recommend doing it. It's probably not a good thing. So Mr. Forkle is evil. I personally don't think Mr. Forkle is evil just because of the sheer dedication he has to the Black Swan. Or you're saying that the Black Swan itself is evil and not Mr. Forkle, so I can actually get that theory. But I don't think that Mr. Forkle is evil because he's done so much stuff for Sophie. He sacrifices his brother. So yeah, he's probably not evil. Alden, Vespera, the Council, Matchless, Telepathy, and Foxfire are a bit overrated. Alden, overrated. Vespera, not really in the book, so I can't really say overrated. The Council, half of everyone on the Council is overrated. Matchless, definitely overrated, I think. Telepathy, I don't know why they say it's a rare ability. Like, everybody in the books has it, and they say it's supposed to be so rare. But yeah, a bit overrated just because everybody has it. Foxfire is not overrated because like we haven't seen anything from Foxfire, like of them going to Foxfire since like Lodestar or something. So I want to see Foxfire back. I personally think that's underrated. And then the follow-up is Keith, Pyrokinetics, Exilium, and Keith's self-control are all underrated. I think it is so hard to say that Keith is underrated since he is definitely like the character that's most loved by the fandom, so I have to disagree with you on that one. After I started reading the series, I pulled out an eyelash like Sophie does just to see how it felt. Flash forward 3 years later and I still have the habit and I'm actually trying really hard to stop. Wow, that's what I didn't want to happen to me because that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. That's crazy. I can't stand Mr. Forkle. Like, I get that he's important and he needs to be there for things in the Black Swan to work, but honestly, he's really annoying to me. He seems to know everything, which doesn't sit right with me. Well, he is the leader of the Black Swan. He does know everything about Sophie. He does know all of her secrets and like who's her father and stuff like that. But I still respect him. Like, he's still a good character. I like Mr. Forkle, so I disagree with that one. Next one, my confession is that I don't hate Dame Melina, which is a character that I find is commonly despised. I know. She's basically the Umbridge of the KotLC world. She's vain, selfish, and obsessed with Alden. However, in Keith's records in 8.5, Dame Melina wrote in her notes that she was worried about Keith intentionally causing trouble to get attention from his parents. The fact that she actually noticed this and tried to help resolve the issues with his sentence just made her impossible to hate, even though she didn't actually make anything better. So I don't despise Dame Melina. There's very few characters that I despise, but saying that, I don't really like her. So I see where you're coming from. The first time I read the first book, when Dex and Sophie were in Paris after kidnapping, I googled Paris Alexander Lantern and I found the lantern in real life. So I have to do this now. Oh, that was really easy. Here it is. Wow. I mean, if you compare it to book 1 cover, yeah. That's it. Wow, that was really cool actually. My confession is that I still ship Dex and Biana, even though Shannon has basically said that they aren't going to happen and Biana likes Tam. First of all, before I continue, like, where did they say that? I don't remember that. Tiana is cute and all, but Dexiana is just yes. I love how they became friends despite their old feuds, and I do think that there is something there. I think could be another love triangle. So I agree with this one 100%. So I don't really see a reason why Dex and Biana has like stopped. Shannon didn't say that they're not gonna happen. And I genuinely do believe there has been a buildup of it. So it's possible. I think Tam does like Biana. I think Dex does like Biana. And it is love triangle. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. For a while, I thought it was Keith on the cover of the first book and not Dex. Oh my gosh, why are so many people getting confused? That's the 5th person so far. When the news of the movie came out, I was determined I was going to be Morella to the point where I practiced all of her lines in the book in front of a mirror. I also started braiding small parts of my hair and wearing it to school like that. Looking back, I have no idea why I wanted to be Morella. She's probably like my 20th favorite character, and I don't relate to her at all. Wow, that's interesting. I don't really know what to think of that. I appreciate the determination to be Morella, even though it's your 28th favorite character. That's weird. I don't know. When I was super obsessed with KotLC, I started ability testing. I really wanted to be a shade because they're overpowered. How do you even ability test in real life to be a shade? I don't know how you do that. I've read all the KotLC books, but I still can't pronounce Biana. Some people say Biana, but I say Biana. I love Fitz for the first half of the series. No regrets, no shame. Hey, I agree with you on this one, and I don't regret it either. The first book, Fitz is probably a bigger character than Keith is, and he does help a lot. He's not like mean or anything, he's good. I pulled out an eyelash to see what Sophie was doing, and it became a habit, and now I have no eyelashes left. I'm seeing a pattern. So many people have the same confessions. We have people pulling out their eyelashes just because reading this book, and we have people thinking that Dex is Fitz on the cover, that Fitz is Keith. I don't even know. I thought Fitz had blonde hair. I'm just gonna move on. I thought Legacy was pronounced Legacy. When I finished reading the series, I found the real way to pronounce it, and I was shocked. Now I can understand like mispronouncing like Biana or something, but like Legacy is like a real word. It's not like a KotLC like made up fantasy word. So that's kind of shocking. This one might sound weird, but when Grady and Adeline were first mentioned, I thought they were gnomes. I don't know how, I don't even think gnomes were like mentioned when Grady and Adeline were first introduced. That's crazy. When I started the book series, I would draw love hearts around Fitz's name every single time it appeared on the page. I rebought the first book because you couldn't read anything properly since the hearts were covering it. That's crazy. These are some good confessions. Kala is super overrated. Wow, that's a hot take. That's a hot one. And I have to disagree. She sacrificed her entire being as a gnome to like have the cure in the Panakes tree. Without her, we wouldn't have the Panakes tree. We wouldn't have all the scenes under it. We wouldn't have the beautiful tree, healing flowers. She's not overrated. She's underrated. I completely disagree that Sophie's gonna look for Keith because she trusts him, and how else is Keith supposed to get some self-discovery for his ability? Keith, like, there's no telling what he could do in the world for the humans. He's never been with the humans before, so I don't even think it's that she trusts him, or she doesn't trust him, I mean. It's that she's worried that he's gonna get hurt or that he's not safe or something like that. I have an old Kindle that doesn't return ebooks to the library after being checked out and downloaded, so I may or may not have accidentally pirated 3 of the KotLC books. That's fine, you know, it's just a bug with the Kindle, but you know what's worse? I think I have every single book except Legacy for some reason downloaded as a PDF just in case I have to use it on my computer. So I think that's a little bit worse, but yeah. I've made it to the end. That's it for this video. If you guys like these confessions, leave some more in this Google form down below if you want to see a part 2, because, you know, this can get even crazier. Comment down below your reactions to these confessions. Did you agree with them? Did you disagree with them? And leave a like down below if you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoy our content and want to help us out. And make sure to check out our Discord server using the link below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.